All right. Hey, Darden, what's your new book about?
Yeah. My new book is about the 5 ways to die. We don't think about that every day, but there are actually 5 manners of death, the way the police classify that. They look at natural causes, which is what we all want to die from, natural causes, accident, something that couldn't be prevented, suicide, unfortunately for some, and then undetermined, those deaths where we really don't know what happened. But the one that we really get the most fascinated about is homicide. And homicide actually is a medical term. The police like to call it murder because not all homicides are murders, but all murders are homicides. And in fact, I was intrigued by the 5 manners of death when I heard someone talk about that at a writing conference. And I thought, I haven't thought about that. And at first I thought to maybe have a murderer or a killer trying to disguise the deaths in the 5 different ways. And I thought, no, I'm not going that way with this novel. So I decided to have a surgeon, Diana Bratton, who's the heroine of the 5 Manners of Death, and she starts to see people die all around her, not her patients, not people dying in the operating room, but people dying, and she realizes that they're sort of fulfilling this classification. The reason that sort of comes to her mind is that she'd just seen a note that her Aunt Phoebe wrote, that her aunt claims was a note from a writing class back in Ole Miss, from Ole Miss in the 1960s. But she begins to believe that maybe her aunt has something to do with these deaths. And then when they find a skull unearthed at Ole Miss during an excavation project, and that skull relates or is attributed to someone who went missing in the 1960s from Ole Miss, she realizes that her Aunt Phoebe was there at that time. And then she begins to believe that maybe her aunt had something to do with that murder and then some others that happened.
I think that's good.